Good evening, I'm Brendan Miller. Thanks for joining us. The Ontario Progressive Conservatives have announced that MPP Kevin Holland will once again be their candidate for the Thunder Bay-Atikokan riding in the supposed upcoming provincial election. Conservative member for the area since Michael Hennessy in 1987. He's received praise from the Premier Doug Ford about expanding health care, creating jobs, and unlocking critical minerals. Holland has stated that he's committed to ensuring the region thrives and that it's a deep honor to represent the people of Thunder Bay-Atikokan. He says his aim is to build a brighter future for the people of Northern Ontario. Thunder Bay Superior North MPP Lise Vaugeois is very upset about the impending closure of the Bank of Montreal branch in Schreiber. She says there's still hope for the area as it scrambles to come up with a solution.
The letter from BMO actually says in small print at the end that it's possible to make an appeal to the Financial Consumer Agency of Canada. And that appeal is possible if BMO has not adequately consulted the community. Well, there's been no consultation. So I don't think there's any question that there is the right to make an appeal and to challenge the decision, which I will be supporting.
The branch celebrated its 100th year in service in 2013 and is planning on closing its doors on July 25th. The bank is the only one between Nipigon and Marathon, and the branch will be hosting an information session on February 12th about the closure. Schreiber's mayor and council has begun looking into solutions and perhaps trying to attract another financial institution to the town. But Vaugeois says that may take a few years, leaving many in the lurch.
Some people have suggested, let's bring in a credit union. So I've done a little bit of research on that. A new credit union takes at least 2 years to set up. But is there a possibility of a branch being set up there from an existing credit union? That's a big question. It will take, it takes quite a lot of work to dig into that.
Meanwhile, MP Patty Hajdu has issued a statement saying this trend of banks closing branches in rural communities deeply affects many members who rely on in-person services. A new indoor rock climbing facility is coming soon to Thunder Bay. Officials with Rock Room announced plans this past week to become Thunder Bay's community climbing gym. The facility's central goals will be inclusion and community development and making it a safe space for all climbers to enjoy. Jaden Billick reports.
Spearheaded by local experienced climber and founder of the Up North Rocks Climbing Podcast, Mike Heyer plans to provide a safe cultural, emotional, and physical space for all ranks of experienced climbers in our community. As a lifelong resident of Northern Ontario, Heyer has already received a lot of support and is thrilled to establish Thunder Bay's newest climbing gym.
Our hope is to have a full-service facility that has top rope climbing, lead climbing, and bouldering, as well as a fully functional workout space for your traditional workout, and also a multi-purpose space to be able to host other sorts of community events, birthday parties, that kind of thing. Really to be able to cater to climbers from beginner to expert and everywhere in between.
After the Boulder Bear Climbing Center suddenly closed its doors in October at the CLE Fairgrounds, members of the local climbing community struggled to find indoor facilities in the area. Heyer's longtime climbing friend and owner of Outdoor Skills and Thrills, Eric Fishman, says Rock Room will be the perfect place for year-round training and overall family fun for all to enjoy.
So I think that there's a really good collaboration that comes between an indoor and outdoor facility. And so between Outdoor Skills and Thrills and Rock Room, I think that we're going to work hand in hand to help bring the community closer together. And I'm going to help with things like safety and route setting and running lessons and things like that.
The two agree that safety is top priority when it comes to this industry. Heyer says it's their intention to stay up to date with all of the best developing practices across the province's broader climbing community. He says starting his business has not been an easy journey, but things are looking good so far.
Certainly, there have been a lot of hurdles in terms of location and in terms of financing, but we've made a ton of really good progress, and I feel really optimistic about the way that things have gone. If folks want to check out our website, they can see a little bit more about how things have been going and what we've been up to. If you check out rockroomclimbing.ca.
Although there is no definite location quite yet, Heyer says with the way things are going, there may be an exciting announcement over the next few weeks. Jaden Billick, TBT News.
Thunder Bay's Valerie Haig cut off 38 inches of her hair tonight. She's donating it to the charity Angel Hair Canada, which makes wigs for children.
A lot of people would be really scared, but in a weird way, that's super exciting. Takes you to a new plateau, and being that I have gone bald full scale before, it's such an interesting feeling. It's wonderful. And it makes you so proud that you have the opportunity to donate such a big amount of hair.
Today's fundraising event at Unifor Hall in Westford featured vendor tables and a prize draw every $20 donation made. Haig says this is her third time growing and chopping her hair for charity, and this will be her final time.
I'm fairly sure that is 38 inches of hair, give or take. But yes, we actually ended up with 5 large ponytails. And yes, and that'll get donated to Angel Hair, and it will create at least 3 wigs for children. And the money we make today is about $2,500 to process a wig, and will be sponsored, and we will be sending somebody a beautiful wig.
The fundraising goal was to reach $3,800, and Haig says that goal was reached. This year marks Cambrian Players' 75th anniversary. To commemorate the occasion, the amateur theater company performed a stage reading of their first ever production called Arsenic and Old Lace, written by Joseph Kesselring. Emma Chilton has more.
You get tired playing cards and you start cleaning your gun, and next thing you know, you've shot yourself in the foot.
On December 9th, 1949, Arsenic and Old Lace was the first play that Cambrian performed, directed by Marion Bell at the Port Arthur Technical and Commercial School, later known as Hillcrest High School. Back then, the tickets were sold for $1. Cheryl Salen, the director of the current production of Arsenic and Old Lace, noted that nearly all the tickets for the reading were sold.
So it is a play that has a lot of history with Cambrian. It is the very first play that Cambrian ever put on in 1949. We have done it every 25 years since. This year it was decided to do it as a staged reading, which means that we are scripts in hand, but with suggestive costumes and a bit of a set and all of that. So we're doing the movements, the big important stuff of the play, which is, it's a play that doesn't read well, it needs to be seen, because it's a lot of fun. It's also a comedy.
It may not be very charitable of me, but I've almost come to the conclusion that this Mr. Hitler isn't a Christian.
For the milestone year, the company is holding a fundraiser for their accessibility campaign for Spotlight on Inclusivity. They plan to build a lift on the side of the building and a bathroom on the main floor. They're asking 75 patrons to donate $75, which will help fund the renovations. Emma Chilton, TBT News.
Fat biking is a quickly growing sport in the region that sees enthusiasts riding bicycles with extra wide tires on snowy streets, trails, and even frozen waterways. The weather trends in the Northwest over the past few winters have brought great conditions on some parts of the lake. Justin Hardy has the story.
A few winter biking enthusiasts recently took a tour of Nipigon Bay on specially designed winter fat bikes that feature much wider wheels to help riders avoid slipping. Among the group of riders was Sonia Kaminsky. She says the roughly 25-kilometer loop around Nipigon Bay was probably her most magical ice experience.
It was just perfect, and the way the sun was shining and the color of the water, it felt like tropical almost. Like I just couldn't even get over the colors and the sun and the blue sky, and we had a little fire on the island halfway through for lunch to warm up our fingers and warm up some food, and it was it was a pretty beautiful day. But they tend to be kind of between that like 6 and 8 hour mark for each adventure.
The region hasn't seen a lot of snow over the past few years, according to Kaminsky. She says that makes for great conditions for fat biking on the lake.
The safest time to be on the ice is when the ice is super black and clear. So even visually, you can see the depth as it changes. When there's snow cover on top of the ice, it adds that extra bit of mystery, and it's harder to tell as you're moving along what's going on beneath you. So last year and this year, we've had a long period without snow cover. And it's led to, just these incredible opportunities to get to take advantage of our big lakes.
Kaminsky encourages anyone interested in the sport to give it a try and look on the Black Sheep Mountain Bike Club Facebook page or Instagram to learn more. Justin Hardy, TBT News.